how do we as coaches incorporate IFS into our practice without delving too far into therapy? That's
Really
the
good question. Yeah. And that's something we've struggled with because we do want to start training coaches in this, and we're in the process of designing a curriculum. And some of where we've landed has been that for coaches, it's safe to work with protectors of clients and maybe not go to these inner children, that the piece of work that Allison and I just did, without at least consultation from a therapist or some kind of collaboration. Uh, and the reasoning is, while there are lots and lots of people like Allison who you could do what I just did and it would probably be fine, there are also a percentage of people that have pretty severe trauma and would have, it's just tricky. It's good to have some therapeutic training to work with that population, and you don't know in advance who's who is the problem. So, so we're going to err on the safe side probably and encourage coaches to stay with protectors. And there's a whole lot you can do just at that level.
Yeah, I'll just, thanks for the question, Familia, and I'll just double down on that. For me, as I've just begun experimenting, incorporating this a little bit, simply helping your clients notice their different parts. Oh, part of you is feeling this, and part of you is feeling that. Like that alone has value. Like
Yeah,
in my experience.
yeah, that by itself, not only noticing them, but realizing they're not your enemy and actually learning to be loving of them is it's a big shift for most people. And then the other side of it that I didn't mention is helping your coachees. I'm not sure what you call them. Is that, do you call them coachees?
Coachees or clients, either way.
Okay. Helping them access that self I was talking about. And if you're coaching them in a corporate context or, just in a life context, knowing how to access those qualities and then living their life much more from that place, and then noticing when parts come in and interfere with that, and then helping the parts trust that it is safe to let you stay, because as was illustrated in our work, most of these protectors still think you're quite young and they don't trust you can handle things. And once they realize how much you can handle, they're so relieved and they're just thrilled to have somebody like you run your life. So drive the bus. Yeah.
So the other things I've done, and Dick, you'll have to, feel free to like, or that's too far. But one of the things that I've done is when a client notices a part, I'll ask the question, what does that part of you want you to know?
Mhm.
And that in itself has been really valuable for
Yeah,
clients.
that's exactly right. That simple question, and sometimes you have to be a little more directive, and as I was, and say, Allison, focus on that part. Find it in your body. That's always helpful to have people find an anchor point for it, and then direct the question right there. What does it want you to know? And often you'll get a little more clarity that way.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty simple. It's like
It's
one,
super
two,
simple.
three.
It's
Just
super
have,
simple. And
yeah,
even so I don't go any further than what does it want you to know? Uh, what is it afraid would happen if it didn't do what it does?
that's right.
And or what is it protecting you from? And I don't go any further than that because I don't feel like it's like I have the ability to. Uh, or at least that it's appropriate for me to. And just those alone, along with like, where is it in your body? And I integrate some mindfulness techniques in that. And it's had some powerful consequences for my clients.
The other question I think is safe for you to add would be what I used, which was ask this part how old it thinks you are. And if it thinks you're young, just update it and see how it reacts. Because as you can see, that had an impact. And then there's always this sort of general question for protectors, which is ask this part what it needs from you going forward. Really good
Yes.
question for those parts, yeah.